Yo, Sanjay Uche here, people, bringing you a. I know it's late. It's a late review for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, episode 3, of course. Also, if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe. That really helps me out. Share this video. Let me know what you think. Let's start a discussion in the comment section below. But let's get into it. So, this week's episode, we are introduced to Metal Lee, the supposed son of Rock Lee, and we get to learn more about him through his character, his interactions with the other cast of characters, the kids, of course. And I must say, really and truly, going into this episode, I was, I wouldn't say hyped, but fairly looking forward to it. Yeah, I think it really paid off. It was a very entertaining episode, surprisingly. I think it stands as a stronger episode than last week's, even though, to me, last week's episode had some, through the character of Iwabe, really, really helped to illustrate some underlying themes that I think will be repeated, or basically it'll be shown across the entire Boruto series. It'll be something that'll be mentioned time and time again. But yeah, I think this episode as a whole really brushes episode 2. It really stands out from it. But like, let's get more into it. So what really sold this episode for me is the character interaction, really and truly. Seeing mentally interact with his fellow classmates, and not only that, but seeing Shikadai and his life at home, getting a tidbit of that was actually pretty funny as well. I think what helps to let these episodes stand out as well is the comedy. I mean, Boruto Naruto Next Generation it has been pretty lighthearted so far, but obviously it's going to build into something more. Sorry about that, people. Something more serious as time goes on. But at the moment, I think I'm really enjoying these episodes for what they're worth. Um, so we're introduced to Metal Lee, and we get to see that, as expected, he is pretty good at taijutsu. But before we're even introduced to that, we get a scene of the students basically doing shuriken practice, and we get to see that he's pretty darn good, because Shikadai and Inojin, they basically realize his skill, but it's through his character interactions that we really see that even though he's skilled, like, when he gets nervous, apparently doesn't perform as well. So that was interesting, because a repeated character trait with the characters, as seen with characters like Guy and Lee, was that they either sucked at genjutsu and ninjutsu, or just couldn't do it at all, and hence taijutsu was the focus. But interesting to note, in this episode, it wasn't really covered if that was the case for Metal Lee. It's just that he gets nervous around people. Now, apparently, he spent time alone in the forest, in the woods, basically training. So that's interesting. But to date, so far in episode, we don't know if if it's a case that he can't use ninjutsu and genjutsu. But of course, we get a scene of Boruto pulling some madness as usual, and I must say, Boruto really does take out the Sasuke, and he hasn't even met the guy yet. We see him just pull off a windmill shuriken and get the rest of his classmates into trouble. We get Shino sending them to basically repair the Hokage monument as kind of like a punishment. So it's here that we get to see the characters interact more mentally, and we get the point of conflict in the episode, the initial point of conflict, that is, in that Chikadai picks up that, he's mentally doesn't do well under pressure. But this is after they've finished the quote unquote fixing the Hokage monument statues, and it's really in the evening when they're going home, we see Shikadai come across as being a bit, should I say, condescending. It's just his tone, the way he came off. It kind of felt like it, I guess, kind of upset mentally, or at least hurt his feelings. Um, so it's really what makes this episode great as well. Is after this we get more interaction between, as I mentioned, we get to see Shikadai's life at home, and damn, Tamari Tamari's aged pretty well, I must say. Move. But yeah, so we get to see Tamari, and we get to see Shikada interact with Tamari and his dad Shikamaru, of course. And it's really through a conversation between Shikamaru and Shikadai that we get to see Shikadai actually experience some character development, which is pretty good for what it's worth. Because I mean, obviously, since he's Shikamaru's son, he's gonna be a smart kid, and to see him take Shikamaru's words completely to heart and basically adjust his behavior and how he goes about things when dealing with other people, in this case Metal Lee, it's pretty refreshing to see that characters can get some serious development in this case. And of course they didn't miss the chance they didn't miss the chance to throw in some comedy there, so definitely some good scene comedy there in this episode, especially for that little family scene. So after this next day we get this similar to Denki in episode 1, where that mysterious aura took him over. We get that with Metal Lee, and we get that next point of highlight for the episode because Metal Lee goes to attack Shikadai, and we get some awesome teamwork between Boruto, Shikadai, and Inojin, which I must say is I'm very impressed with, because it really shows the level to which these characters understand each other's abilities. So that was really interesting. Seeing how they took down mentally, definitely a plus for the episode. Of course, the recurring theme here is that whatever is taking over these characters, in this case Mentally and Denki to date, it seems to how should I put it, feed on their weaknesses, like their personal weaknesses, and yeah, their doubts. Really, that's when it really happens. And I forgot to mention that at the start of this episode we get a silhouette of some shady figure with glowing red eyes. That obviously I think this first segment of Boruto is leading up to the finale, or I guess battle, or whatever this is, against whatever this mysterious figure is, and it's mostly what's responsible for these strange occurrences. And of course I could not miss the fact that since this happened again, Boruto's Tenseigan, I mean it hasn't been confirmed, but it does look like a Tenseigan. But yeah, that acts up again, and that was interesting to see. And that was a point in the episode as well that led to Boruto questioning his mother Hinata regarding the Byakugan, which I found to be, which I actually loved. I think that was actually a great part of the episode to see Boruto curious about it, because we even got this part when he went home, he was looking at Himawari, his sister. So that was definitely interesting, added to the mystery surrounding these early episodes. Because if you've seen my Boruto timeline video, now I'll probably link it at the end of this video, this Boruto anime, where it's starting at this point, is before the events of chapter 700 of Naruto. Yeah, so, and the manga at the moment is way past the events of Boruto Naruto the movie. So this whole mystery at Boruto's eyes definitely adding to I guess viewer interest in the Boruto anime, for now at least. So it's at this point that we kind of start capping off the episode with when Naruto comes home and he's tired and he just goes to bed. And of course we know how it is in these early days of Boruto. The relationship between him and his father Naruto is that Boruto, I guess for lack of a better term, he kind of despises Naruto for not being able to spend time with him and the rest of the family. So it's a point of conflict that will be resolved, of course, if you've seen Boruto Naruto the movie, which I think added to the episode. But we really end things off there, more or less. Well, we still have one extra scene of the next day they go to school, and we get to see Mentally interacting with his classmates, which I found to be a very hilarious scene as well. But all in all, I think this episode was pretty damn good, and I'm actually looking forward to the next week episode. So if you haven't watched the episode, if you have watched it, I don't know, let me know what you think. Subscribe, share this video out. I don't know, raggle fraggle. But yeah, see you in the next one. Sanjay Uchi out. Oh, another announcement. Um, I'm thinking of starting to get back into making MVs. So I don't know. Probably look out for one over the weekend. Probably, and probably yeah. I think Saturday might be a good day. So there's that. So subscribe, share this video, blah blah blah, and I'll see you in the next one, people.